Hey, this is Joe. Thanks for coming back for another video. I've been taking a little break for a while, but I'm back now. I went to change a bulb on my Microfibers VW GTI. Took the bulb connector out and it just crumbled the back side of the backup light. I found the piece of the ring that broke off on the bottom that contains the locking tabs, and I took a little 5-minute epoxy and epoxied on that bottom ring. But as you can see, there's a big hole in there. So let me show you how I'm going to fix this. If you go on eBay and you look, you can get a replacement used backup light for about $45 to $50, and then by the time you add shipping, it's going to be $60, $65. So I'm going to fix this here myself with a little bit of epoxy and a little bit of epoxy filler. As you can see here, I have some 5-minute epoxy, and if I just take and mix up some 5-minute epoxy and try to fill in that gap where the light fixture crumbled, the epoxy is just going to run on down and it's not going to really stick. If you notice, I took a piece of packing tape and put it on the back, on the inside of that light fixture. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take some filler and mix it up into probably a little thicker than a peanut butter consistency. Let me show you what I'm going to use. I have some West Systems 403 Microfibers. It's a white powder and it mixes up really nice with West Systems epoxy, but in this case we're going to use a 5-minute epoxy. It will mix up really nice. What you want to do is mix this in, get a consistency again a little thicker than peanut butter. You want to apply that in that area of the fixture that is cracked out, and then because it will cure in set up in less than 5 minutes. That way we can get that to set in and restructure the wall of that light fixture using some of this filler with 5-minute epoxy. Let me show you how we're going to mix that and how we're going to put that on the light fixture to fix it. The microfiber powder, as you can see, is sort of a fluffy white powder. When you mix this up, you want to mix a little, very small amount at a time for this light fixture. If you mix too much, it could run, even though we're going to thicken it way up. So mix a very small amount. You can always do multiple applications in that cracked area on the light fixture. So we're going to mix a little bit, get it really thick, and then we're going to spread it on the light fixture to try to fill in that cracked out area. In digging around the inside of the car, I actually found the piece that cracked out of the fixture. So I'm going to put that piece in on top of the tape, and I'm going to fill that in with epoxy. If you can find the broken pieces, it's always better to piece it back together than try to fill in an empty void. So in this particular case, I found the broken piece, cleaned it up a little bit, and now I'm going to fill it in with some epoxy. And then what we'll do is, after this sets up, we'll take a small strip of fiberglass, and for added strength we're going to wrap the outside of this fixture with a little fiberglass, and then that will make it pretty strong. If we need to clean up any of the locking pins where the light goes into this fixture, we can take a little piece of sandpaper or a little file and we can work on that. And I'll show you that as we progress. So let's mix up some epoxy and we'll fill in this crack and see how it works out. Give the epoxy a couple hours to set up. It still will be a little soft. You could come up and you can touch it. Take some 80 grit sandpaper, and notice right here I had to clean up the little slot to where the socket locks in to this fitting. But give yourself a couple hours, and then let's do a test fitting now. So we're going to come in and we can make sure that connector, all the little locking tabs on here fit properly. Be very gentle because the epoxy is still a little, it's not totally cured. So make sure your locking tabs work. You want to do that now before the epoxy totally cures, because it'll be much harder and harder to sand if it's totally cured. Take and cut yourself a small strip of fiberglass. You notice here there's no frayed edges on this. What I do before I cut it, I spray the fiberglass fabric with a little spray adhesive, and then let it dry a bit. Then you can take and cut the fiberglass without it fraying all over the place. So what we're going to do now is we're going to mix up some epoxy. We're going to put it up on and brush it around the light fixture. Then we're going to come in and lay the fiberglass around the light fixture, and then we're going to stipple the epoxy into the fiberglass to make a good bond around the light fixture with the fiberglass. We put a coat of epoxy around the light fixture. Then we took the small strip of fiberglass and wrapped it around the light fixture. Now we're going to mix up another batch of epoxy, and we're going to stipple the epoxy into the glass to make a very firm bond of the fiberglass to the light fixture. You have to work fast. You have 5-minute epoxy. It starts setting up after about 3 minutes. After letting the fiberglass cure for 24 hours, you can now put the light bulb into the fixture. The light fixture should be strong enough now to support the bulb without any further cracking. Let's go ahead and do that. And that's how you repair a light fixture that has been cracked due to oxidation and crumbled. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.